Good evening once again. Welcome to TLT Sports Podcast. Today we bring you one of our legends, Ntate Tshakile Nzimande, one of the first Olympiads this country ever produced. A rich history in terms of sports, and today we're going to have a discussion. It's going to be a wonderful time. And I want now to turn to our legend, Ntate Tshakile Dumela.
Well, Ntate, njale kae?
Re teng le kae ntate wa ka?
I'm good and good to see you.
No, re a leboha. You are one of the legends this province and this country has produced. And you began most of the things. You were one of the first to do most things. Can you tell us briefly about yourself and let's have a discussion today?
Oh, if I can say briefly about myself, is the name is Tshakile, the surname is Nzimande. I'm born and bred in Bloem. I started this career of mine in athletics and football at an early age. Started at Bochabela School and then went to Marang and played football, and everything started when I was at Sihunelo. At Sunele. That's when I started running. That's where everything started, and all of that. Then came the one when I went to the mining industry and the likes. Before then, I was at Celtic, but now I don't want to dwell much there at Celtics, because that is now the one that is now, that one is disturbing me. When I left football, because I did not want to do this thing of when you play football, you must use muti, and I did not want to use muti. That's when I left football and then followed this career of athletics.
Well, Ntate Nzimande is a multi-layered man, multifaceted. So I'm going to give to the Phantom to continue with the discussions.
No, thank you very much, T. Brati, good day.
Good day, Ntate.
Yeah, no, ritumetse thata, Brati, to have you here this afternoon. I am so excited, so happy to finally sit down with you and have a conversation with you, especially about your sporting career. Tell us, Bra Tshakile, where did you participate in sports, especially at the highest level, province, country, internationally?
As a small boy, when I was still at school, it's not everyone who is aware that when I was still at school, Suhunelo High School or secondary school,
Yeah.
Pretoria, around 1982,
Okay.
when I broke South African 100 meters with 10-1.
Okay.
The Pilditch Stadium. I was there 2 weeks back.
All right.
Yeah, so it brought back all the memories, because that was the stadium. But during that time, it was not it was a sandy track. It was not like a tartan track or a synthetic track that we call these days. Because now, yeah. So that is where my athletics career started. And then I think I remember when I was selected, I went to Newcastle.
Okay.
Then
KZN.
KZN. There was a gentleman by the name of Kenneth Zondi, who was a good hurdles athlete,
Okay.
a coach at that time. And then he wanted me to join Newcastle,
right.
but I could not because I was still at school.
Okay.
And and then I followed the athletics career of mine. Then there was football again. So Natemele wanted me in the football.
Yeah.
Then whilst I was still at school, surprisingly, people don't know this.
Yeah.
And then,
Let's let them know.
yeah, I want them to know. Every year we will go to Lorraine Gold Mines. The Lorraine Gold Mines is that one, Allen Reach.
Okay.
That Welcome route. And then Odendal is Allen Reach, and before Otabil.
Okay.
Yeah, that is Lorraine Gold Mine.
All right.
So we used to go there. The late Petros Tumisi, Tunsane,
Oh, yeah,
Rampa. Yes.
I was a sprinter.
Yeah, we used to go there, and unfortunately, I used to be the only one who maybe be selected to represent Angloval.
Okay.
Yes, at their championships in Priska, and I want the whole world to know this. People don't know that Gwede Mantash
Yeah. Yeah.
was a sprinter, 400 meters athlete.
Who?
Gwede Mantash.
Interesting.
Gwede
Yeah.
Mantash. I want to repeat this.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I hope somebody will tell him.
Yeah.
Because I remember I met him somewhere in, was it King Williamstown?
Okay.
That was Chris Honey's memorial.
Yeah.
Kofi Mbaba, I think it's Kofi Mbaba when we were
Okay.
there. And then the mayor then,
Yeah.
when we met, I said, hey, do you know this gentleman was a sprinter?
Yeah.
Then, hey, he was excited. I was a sprinter and a top one for that
Yeah.
matter.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And I met him there.
Yeah.
You know, and then from there, when I was after school, I went to the very same mine that
Okay.
used to recruit me every year.
Yeah.
And then that's where my athletics career now nationally started. And then I
see.
remember the first race was in Potchefstroom.
Yeah.
And then I came second with photo finish with Vessels Ootsen.
This is what year? Around what?
Somewhere around 85,
Okay.
86.
All right.
And then that's where now most of them started knowing that where is this guy coming from?
Yeah.
And then I started getting invitations. And
Okay.
but remember that time, Ntate did not want me to go to Gauteng because
Okay.
I was still at Celtic. But
So you
I-
were playing professional
yes,
football, running.
And then I said to Ntate,
Wow.
Ntate, because of this
Yeah.
injury, because I had injury of tendon Achilles, and then I said, Ntate, no, let me just do this. Please, can I go and do my other, follow this career of mine?
Yeah.
And then that's when I followed athletics. That was everything started there at Lorraine Gold Mine.
So you were doing which discipline? 100 meters, 200?
100, 200 meters. But my favorite distance became, it was now 200 meters.
Okay.
And there's a reason why it was 200 meters, because at the time when I was now one of the elite
Yeah.
or top athlete, starting blocks, I was practicing starting blocks, but there was no one, to show me if I have to correct someone.
Mm-hmm.
I would correct my colleagues or my fellow my teammates during training sessions and the likes, but there was no one. That's why I decided, okay, if I have a bad start in 100 meters, but in 200, even if I can have a bad start,
You will catch up.
I will catch up. And
Yeah.
then
Wow.
I was good at the bend, so that is exactly what happened. So I
But,
just
but did you have a coach, a professional coach? Because you were a professional athlete.
I had I was fortunate to have so many people, assisting me.
Okay.
They
They were not coaches, they were assisting.
They were, no, they were. I'll call them coaches. There was
Yeah.
this gentleman from Velcom, Stefan Ferreira, was
Alright.
coaching all of us. But I was using two programs.
Okay.
Ne?
Okay.
The gentleman, Henny Ferreira, and then the one that was coaching, there was another gentleman who was coaching Johan Rousseau, that is in Bloom.
Okay.
Yeah, Henny Pretorius. He was the manager at Audi Center. Henny Pretorius was the one who was assisting me a lot. Every time when I come to Bloom, I know that I was going to be the training partner of Johan Rousseau.
Okay.
So after that, I knew that when I go to any event, I'll be good at a starting block, because I would have practiced with Johan Rousseau and the others, Gerard Barnard and the likes. So that's basically what happened.
Okay.
Yes.
I would want us, Bra Tshakile, to talk a little about how difficult it could have been for you as a black athlete in those days, to break rank, to break the ceiling that was there. But before we get there, did you break any record? Did you set any records that could be considered as national records?
Oh, yeah. When I broke the South African and the whole of Africa record in 1987,
The whole of Africa record.
the whole
Wow.
of Africa record, that was in Velcom, Toyota. It was 10.31 and
10 seconds.
10.31 seconds. And the sad part is when I won or when I broke that record, I got a watch a plastic watch for
Ah,
water.
plastic.
Yeah, I'm telling you. People don't believe when I say that.
Yeah.
And they were asking me, did you get any money? No. The price was 150 first prize, 100 for second prize, 75 for the third prize.
What year is this that in
1987. Yeah. And that is when I started seeing myself as one of the top athletes.
Okay.
And to my surprise, one other thing that people don't know that Ephraim Shakes Mashaba,
Oh, yeah.
he was the coach of Anglo-American soccer team.
All right.
I remember before I could be selected,
Yeah.
I played
Oh, yeah.
Friday before Saturday.
Football.
Football.
Yeah, you were risky.
So you're not afraid of injuries?
I did not want my manager to know about that one. I was told that, hey,
Yeah.
we are not going to tell. And we are playing at night. So
Oh, no.
people won't even recognize that we are in the field of play.
That's the love.
So that's,
Sure.
yeah, you know. And then I took that risk.
Yeah.
And I played well. And then I remember after that, I was running in Stellenbosch.
Yeah.
Upon my return on Monday,
Yeah.
I got the message that, hey, you have been selected. You are going to represent Anglo-American at the championships in was it Rustenburg?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And why? No, Shakes Mashaba wants to in the team.
Yeah.
And then that's when I started seeing myself there playing football.
Yeah.
People did not believe.
Yeah.
And then I played there with. I remember Mike Mutlango. Remember Mike Mutlango was playing for Orlando.
Yeah.
Shasha Amusotu.
Okay.
I wouldn't say he was my homeboy. He was my brother.
All right.
Yeah, because he also played for Celtics before.
Are you talking about Godfrey?
No, or Godfrey's brother,
Oh, Godfrey's
uncle.
brother.
I think it was Godfrey's uncle.
Okay. Godfrey
Yeah,
Musutu, yeah.
yeah. And then I was playing that other side.
Okay.
And then he said, "Hey, what is that?
Hey.
Hey, what is that?
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you doing here? You want to kill me? You want to destroy me? No, these people must know that you. Hey,
Hey.
hey, what is that?
Yeah.
What is football, Dad?
But this was something, Brother Chakile. So you could play football one day, the
Man, the
following day
following day.
run.
Sure.
And at a professional level, this is.
You know, during that time, I was not even thinking about the risk that I'm taking.
Yeah.
I was just hiding it from who? From the manager.
Yeah.
You know, so that he must not know this. It was like a secret. But I know these people. When you play well, you win the game.
Yeah.
They'll talk too much.
Yeah.
But the following day, when I perform well,
Okay.
he does not even think about that.
Yeah, it closes that.
Yeah, no, he closes that.
So let's go back to the records you said. So this was the All Africa record.
Yes.
Any other record?
And then there came the other one. That was not recognized. And I'm still bitter, you know. I'm still bitter about it. Very sad. 1988,
Okay.
BB serials in KwaZulu-Natal, in Durban, to be specific. I arrived late
Okay.
at the airport. I missed my flight.
Oh no.
And then I took the second flight to Durban. I was late.
Yeah. So no palama di flight when I
Yes.
88 in
Oh,
Zerusharama
It was like a Mazagatat at that time.
Wow. Levels.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when I arrived in Durban, my first race was 10-7.
Okay.
So I'm supposed to report at between 6 and 6:15.
All right.
There's this thing that is called a call room. You see where athletes will come first, you
Okay,
register
arrive, yeah.
before they can arrive, where you can see them.
Yeah.
The call room. So they thought I am absent, I'm not there.
Oh no.
And then as I was coming, I was busy changing clothes
Yeah.
and getting, and then 20 minutes or 15 minutes before the race, there I am appearing.
Yeah.
And then even these others were excited that I'm not there. Then I arrived.
Okay.
So I don't know what kind of warm-up
Yeah.
I can explain to you today, but it was a warm-up.
And you got in.
And I don't know whether it was this thing that was in my mind And then that's when I ran sub 10 for the first time in South Africa. 9.99. And then they said wind assist.
Yeah.
Because I remember.
So this is the latest record of Akani Simbini.
Yeah.
No,
Nine-
we ran way back.
Yeah.
He doesn't know that.
Yeah.
And then I was told that it was wind assist. Because I remember there was a big screen.
Okay.
It was flashing, 9.8. And the stadium
Okay.
went quiet. It was quiet because they could not believe that.
Yeah.
And I was surprised because I did not do a proper warm-up
Yeah.
that night.
Awesome.
And then the very same night, they came 200 meters.
Oh, yeah.
Another South African record, 20.04.
You said that.
That record.
Sure.
That was a South African and all Africa record. But they said wind assist.
So they said the wind assisted you.
Yes, the wind assisted me. You know.
Who should have assisted you?
Bloody wind.
Now what is happening is, even today, I'm still asking for those officials who were there.
Yeah.
That when it is a wind assist, why don't you put it there on records that it was a wind assist?
Yeah.
It does not appear. I see another time. That was not the time that I ran. You know, I still have to ask those questions because I remember when Minister Mbalula was at sport, and then
Yeah.
I was interviewed at some point, and then I was told, I even said to them that I still have to find out what happened.
With those
And then it was 1988, January, Petersburg,
Okay.
another South African record,
Yeah.
20.13. They said, no, wind assist.
But what were the reasons, Brashakit? Why were these stumbling blocks?
No,
this problem,
they
this
said
wind
it's a wind assist.
Yeah.
You know, because if the wind is beyond 2 point something,
Yeah.
that's what they say is wind assist. So I couldn't argue then
Yeah.
because that's what they explained to me, that it was a wind assist.
But-
I just have to accept it.
But I don't understand. Two things with this wind assist. Is it your fault that there's wind and they schedule the race that particular day and there's wind and you happen to win?
Yeah.
Secondly, do they alter the time and they give you another time?
Yes, they did that, but I wanted the explanation. Even today, I still have not found or maybe received that. But that is there. That was then.
Yeah.
And then people will say that no, this thing of athletics. Now, during our time, there's this guy who was a vendor guy from a vendor,
Yeah.
Peter Ngubeni.
Okay.
Peter, I think in Krugersdorp.
Yeah.
Yeah. He also ran 9.99. They also set a wind assist.
Brashakit, you know, we have an issue with time, and there are so many things that I wanted to cover, you know, in our conversation.
Yes,
with
yes,
you.
yes.
In terms of your career, where else in the world did you go to, you know, during those days? Where did you compete, participate in athletics?
I've been to most part of the world. You know, I've been to Africa. I've covered most of the yeah. And remember, when I was a young boy, I used to play water. We used to swim in dams and the likes. But all of a sudden, when there was there's a graveyard, Magengene, and that at the back, Radibata, yes.
Yeah,
When somebody was there and then he could not go out, and then they said there was a snake, and then he was taken by the snake and something. That's when I became scared of the snake and the water. But when I grew up, I used to catch snakes and play with it, because I was residing next to Pelinomi Hospital. We would just pull that and then, you know, threatening the nurses with that. But today, I am so scared of the snake. You know?
That was the bravery of a child.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, and I remember the spiders and the likes. There was this one, that the big one, and then there was this thing.
Yeah, the cobweb.
And then I will say, this is my house, this is your house, this is the fence.
Yeah.
And the spider is still there.
Yeah.
But I was not even thinking about it, how dangerous it is. But because I was a child at that time.
Okay, let's go back, Brashakit. So you've traveled the world. Talk to us a little about Barcelona, because you went to the Olympics to represent South Africa. I mean, that is at the highest level in the world.
Yes. Before that I remember we went to England first. My manager, I got my manager. Yeah. Before we go there, I wanted to give you to paint this picture of what was happening in South Africa then.
Yeah, because remember I said how difficult it could have
Yeah.
been.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't difficult.
yeah.
You tell us.
There was a time when I did not have a sponsor when I was in the mining industry. Now I would wear a Puma, Nike, Adidas socks or Adidas spikes.
Yeah.
I was doing that so that people can see that I don't have. You cannot wear different
Sure.
brands
Yeah.
if you are a sponsored athlete. These guys will tell me that no, don't worry. We are still working on that. We'll get a sponsorship. I'm talking about the reps
Yeah.
at that time. And then I'll go up and down, And then when we were in Cape Town, I came across this guy by the name of Tony Longhurst. I can't forget that name, Tony Longhurst. And then he came to me. Why are you wearing Nike?
Yeah.
Said, I don't have a sponsor. No, don't tell me that.
Yeah.
I've been following you.
Yeah.
All these guys that are wearing Adidas, Pumas, and the likes, they've got sponsors, and you don't have sponsor, but you are beating them. This can't be possible. And then he called one of those guys from Adidas. Hey,
Yeah.
what is happening? No, we are supposed to do that. And don't ever do anything. I'm here now. I'll take it from here.
Wow.
Now, I'm an agent.
Yeah.
He was from England. So I did not even look back. I said, where do I sign?
Yeah.
Sure.
And then,
England.
and then the manager there in the mining industry said to me, no, you cannot do that. I said, these people are going to, use you and eat your money. I said, I don't have the money that you're talking about.
Yeah. Which money? What
Which money?
Sure.
I don't have- if I make 100 rand and then he takes 40, I've got 60.
Yeah.
I still have the money. I did not have that 60
Yeah,
rand.
you didn't.
Because there were some of the things that I did not know that they were happening. Because during my time when I was an athlete, I did not know that there were athletes that would be traveling with their girlfriends,
Yeah.
traveling with their mothers, parents. I thought these people have got a lot of money, not knowing that
They're a
no,
sponsor.
it's part of you being invited.
Oh no.
Okay.
And then I remember Tony asking me, "Do you want to come with your family?"
Yeah.
I said, "I'll appreciate that. Don't worry, I'll make it happen."
Anna?
Wow.
Then I said to him, "Oh, fine." And then
A foreigner.
yes, and then all of a sudden I got a call from
Apartheid.
I got a call from ASA then.
Yeah.
Tata, you cannot do this. I see that you are traveling. It's very expensive. You can't do that. I said, but that is not me. I did not talk to you. I don't know anything about that.
Yeah.
Then after dropping the phone, I called him.
Yeah.
Tony. Now they are calling me. They are saying that, I said, Tony, who called you? And then I gave him the name, Richard. And then Richard called me. But no, I was just asking, why did you, now this guy,
Now the blacks are panicking.
no, but now this guy is telling me. And then Tony said, no, you know what? These people, they want you more than you know.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid. Don't be scared.
Yeah.
They want you more
Sure.
than you know.
So that's how difficult it
Yes.
would have been to get sponsored. Would you say it's still prevalent? Do black athletes
No,
today
I
struggle?
want to come to this one.
Yeah.
And then when I was running in Stellenbosch,
Yeah.
then guy said to me, let's meet at the airport. I'll collect you. You don't go to the hotel.
Yeah.
You are going to the Adidas warehouse.
Anna?
Then I went to the Adidas warehouse. That day, I remember when upon my arrival, I met that guy who used to go up and down, hiding from me and then from Adidas. And I said, and then Tony said, no, we don't want you. We want the managing director. I spoke to managing director, not you. And then that guy came in. That I was given a bag like as big as this.
A bag.
A bag. And then what I was told that anything in this warehouse that can go into that bag is yours.
Hi, yeah. So the bag was empty.
The bag was empty.
You had to fill it.
I'm telling you.
Awesome.
The warehouse was, from here maybe to those cars. It was. I'm talking about the warehouse.
Yes.
Shelves and the like.
shelves.
Sure.
For my sister, for my mother.
Okay.
They said to me, this must happen.
Yeah.
So I did it. Now at the Stellenbosch, that night at Stellenbosch, he said to me, don't wear anything of Adidas. They have not yet signed anything.
But you already have this.
I had this thing. I want them to sign as quick as possible. Make sure that you win tonight's race, 100 and 200.
Yeah.
And that is exactly what happened. And then I went both 100 and 200, and I became the athlete of the night. I was given the Philips, a small radio thing. And then that guy came running to me. But you got why not doing that? And then he went to him. Don't ever do that.
Yeah.
Don't ever do that to my athlete. He's now my athlete. If you want anything,
Yeah.
he must do the running. I'll do the talking.
Yeah.
So that
So you had an international agent now?
yes.
Wow.
That's when before the Barcelona Olympics, I went with him to run some races in England. He organized everything.
Okay.
Because there were even other athletes who did not have accommodation. I accommodated them.
Or you accommodated them because of your
Because
relationship.
that guy, because I others did not. There are this agent who you receive, say, 10,000 appearance fee, but out of that 10,000, there's a flight, there's meals, there's traveling and the likes.
So, Brother Tshakile,
But
this
you-
is very important. I'm sorry to break your flow. Athletes, especially black athletes today, how exposed are they to these kind of problems? Because I have a hunch, I have a feeling that you probably have black athletes today who are seated there shortchanged
Yeah.
by agents and who do not know and understand what they are, what they deserve. I don't want to be harsh in language.
Yes, I understand. Lucky enough, or fortunate enough, these days, Athletics South Africa is now there to
Okay.
assist. If these
Okay.
boys, like me, I remember I spoke to one of the athletes who was in something like in Val. There was an academy, and then I did not want, I can't
Okay.
go deep into that. I said, no, I advised him, and then I called an old, no, it's not an old friend, it's just a young brother to me,
Yeah.
Hendrik Mokhanyetsi.
Okay, I know Hendrik Mokhanyetsi.
That's my man.
Okay.
I always with him, I always share
So-
most of the things with him.
Awesome.
Yeah. Then we decided, and then we assisted the boy. He's now coached by Paul Horace, who's now the coach of the relays. You saw that recently the one they won the relay.
Yeah.
Now most of the athletes now they've got agents who are there to assist them. So
Awesome.
now, and the Athletics South Africa is there, so it's there to assist these guys. That hey, you are in the wrong camp.
Yeah.
Please come back. These are the guys that we can recommend to. So that is basically what is happening. It's not the same as
Barcelona.
us.
Barcelona
Yes.
92.
Barcelona.
Was it 92?
Yeah.
Yes, Barcelona
Okay.
92. Yes. I arrived late.
Okay. Oh, wow, Tshakile, right now.
No. Listen to me.
Okay.
It is not that I arrived late for the Olympics.
Oh.
I arrived late because they came from South Africa.
All right.
I was coming from England.
Okay.
So I arrived there because they're already there, but
Okay.
same day.
Okay.
Then, upon my arrival,
Yeah.
there was this concern that Lesotho athletes are getting money, we are not getting money, and what. I arrived whilst they were talking
Yeah.
in that talk. But all of a sudden, I was called to the disciplinary hearing.
Yeah.
Disciplinary hearing. It's like I'm only arriving and I'm influencing. No, I found these people talking.
Yeah.
So how come I influence them?
Yeah.
It was a serious issue there, but we corrected it.
Okay.
And at the Olympics, because of every time when I was running in South Africa, I used to sign autographs of these boys that come, and others would be chasing them away. And
Yeah.
for me, it was like, so I was mostly receiving letters almost every day.
Yeah.
From Zambia, I was surprised,
Yeah.
Mozambique,
Okay.
Zimbabwe, South Africa,
Yeah.
and they were even calling me Mr. Letters. I was thinking that Elana Meyer, Zolabat would be the people receiving letters,
Zola was running in LA.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was people expecting that maybe Zola and Elana would be the athlete to be receiving letters, but it was me receiving letters.
But Tshakile, hey, Takunako, this is a time problem.
Yes, I
And
know,
there's so much
I know.
that I want
know.
to talk about. There are things I want to talk about, including Frankie Fredericks from Namibia.
Yes.
He was apparently your biggest competition. That guy.
Yes, Frank Fredericks, we met in Poch. You remember the race, the first time I ran, it was in Poch, where Freddie came, I think he came third or fourth. Then we discussed, we had a discussion around training programs and the likes. But fortunately, He got a scholarship, and then he went to America.
All right.
And then that's when we met the second time. He broke my record, 1992 at Spain.
All right.
In Spain, actually, when we
Yeah.
were at the Olympics. So Frankie was a very, a reserved person. When he talks, very soft.
Yeah.
Yes, very, very soft. Yes.
But he was your biggest competition.
Yes, and then it was not only him.
Yeah.
Remember, at that time it was Wessels Oosthuizen,
Okay.
Johan Rousseau,
Yeah.
Gerard Barnard,
Yeah.
Warren McCann, Benny
There is
Bays.
this bass guy, man. I
Benny
want to
Bays,
talk about-
yes.
Hey, Olumusia,
Benny Bays.
I was
Anyway,
watching your video.
And he was good,
Okay.
in starting blocks.
Yeah.
I used to chase him, but So he
But
he
I'll
was.
run him eventually.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
win eventually. And the exciting part about those years, if you remember there was a time when before we were accepted back into the international arena, there were Americans
Okay.
that came to visit us, the likes, and there was a relay team,
Yeah.
and then it was supposed to be three-legged event.
Yeah.
We won the first relay, and then I can't remember what happened to the second one,
All right.
and then they won, and then the third one, it was the final one, the relay. That's where I got the hamstring,
Oh yeah.
but I pulled through, and then we won that. It was in Pilditch.
Oh, yeah.
Pilditch has got so many things,
Yeah.
sweet memories.
Yeah.
And then I still have that photo where I was carried above, by the,
Yeah.
if you are carried by white people and excited,
Yeah.
it's amazing. People don't understand. They will never realize what was happening. But that's why they say sport can unite people.
Unite people.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
didn't you have problems of being accepted, especially by white competitors, or rejected?
No, I was going alone. I was going along with them.
Yeah.
We were good friends.
Okay.
Although when others, the other part.
Yeah.
When Wessels Oosthuizen retired,
Yeah.
he did not tell me that it is his last race.
Okay.
And then I was invited. I was not even aware that it's going to be only 100 meters in that event. There was no 200 meters. And 200 meters was my favorite event.
Yeah.
And then I beat him.
Oh no.
It was a sad night.
Yeah.
He goes to
Like,
the
it's like Jose Riviero, what's up, my
Yeah.
sharper, when
And then I said to him that I'm a black man.
yeah.
You must talk to me. Not that you must blind me, but you must talk to me. I must let you win. You did not soften me. He could have maybe put me with a stay soft. So that they can be soft. But he did not do that.
Ntate Nzimande, thank you, man.
Yes.
They've been over to you. We must do a second
We
part.
must do a
man.
sequel.
There's-
Hari Kwale Ntate Nzimande. But I want to ask, and then we're closing. Maybe in 45 seconds. You ran at the highest, at your pinnacle of your career, but all of you, rugby, cricket, running, you were called Springboks. So you were Springbok because you were representing the country at a highest level. That's what you did. But today, what are you busy with today?
I'm a coach. I play football 50 plus. I play the league of 35, 40, a league, Masters League. And then last week I was at the USA, a university's student championships in Pilditch. And I don't know how to. These things they keep coming to me, and then upon my arrival, I was selected to be the sprinters selector.
Wow.
So I was selecting the team of the universities that is going to Germany later this in September.
Wow.
Yes, so I'm still coaching.
Wow.
And last year it was Kuksa. I was there, Zone 5. I was in Pretoria. So I get some invitations and I still get selected.
Take my hat off for you, bro.
Thank you very much. I'm humbled.
Ntate Tshakile, thank you for honoring our invite.
Yes, sir.
We thank you for your time. And this rich history, we need time for it.
Yes.
Please accept our invitation in advance.
The second part, yes.
That we'll do a second one. And that's all we had time for tonight. TLT Sports Podcast, we're out. Thank you.
Kindly note that our podcast is called TLT, Tabang Lintikile and Tami Podcast, Spotically speaking. You are going to find us on all social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. That's where you will find us. For now, we want you to take effort and invite your friends, your family members, and sports fanatics to come and watch our TLT podcast. This is where all the information, all the entertainment, and all the knowledge you're going to find will help you enhance your sporting activity as well. TLT, Sportically speaking, that's where you'll find us.